I'm on a new controller today because my Xbox wireless controller, I bought a rechargeable battery pack for it, the official one, and it will no longer hold a charge. This was about 6 months ago, I think, maybe a bit over that. So now I am on a Logitech wireless controller, one of those very, very old ones, and just had a few issues with the control. So anyways, I've got an airship. Last time on Final Fantasy V, I was sent to this airship from the town of Ruin, somewhere in the desert here, where the Earth Crystal should be located. And this time, we've got cutscene here. Look, the town! What is the town doing? It's turned into a flying fortress. Castle in the sky. Yes, Korvax, the 8-bit Bluetooth controller does look a bit more enticing every day. So, the town which holds the crystal I'm looking for has just flown off. And unfortunately, it's a bit too high to reach right now. Thankfully, these two nerds have a way. The Earth Crystal is in the sky because somehow the Ronkins, who built that city, used the crystal to make their town float. Once they realized that their machine could break the crystal, they turned it off, and someone, they think it's King Tycoon, might have turned the machine back on. With Adamantite, Sid and Mid think that I can fly up higher and reach the flying town. And Galuf conveniently remembers that the meteor he flew in on, because he is an alien, as was discussed, probably has some adamantite. He thinks. That's what he remembers. He is known to have a bit of a spotty memory. So let's go investigate that. Korvax says, he's just like me. Yeah, I mean, we can all be a little forgetful. And some of us can be a little alien. And Galuf seems to remember now where he put the house keys to his meteor. And we just gotta head inside. So speaking of game controllers, actually, hopefully you're still here, Pale. I have a query. Do you know of any good ones? Wireless ones that the battery won't lose, like stop holding a charge after a little bit of hardcore gameplay? Ever present. Yes, you are omniscient. And I have been accosted by the boss here. Oh, I got a lovely iron draft from the turtle, which I can't actually use right now, and I've got also dead. Oh, this isn't good. You only use console controllers for their respective consoles. Yeah, I kind of figure now, actually, because you don't really do much non-soul video gameplay. Yeah, okay. This is an elixir moment here. Like a Luddite. Yeah, something like a Luddite. Oh, this is a problem. Okay. I can at least this. This will give me a little bit of regeneration. Recover some HP. I hope it'll be enough. I know it won't. This is not good. I should have considered a different build for this battle. Not to worry, folks. I'll figure out some way. What about the PS4 controller? It gives me slight cramping. Stalactite, that's what I like. Not as much as it did to the Skull Eater, but I like that. The other problem with the PS4 controller I find is the handles, they're a little thin and my hands cramp up after not too long. Which is, I'm very dead. Oh goodness. That is not the button I wanted to hit. That still does massive damage. Okay. And that still takes massive damage. Uh-oh. Alright, we're just Lena solo now. Two critical attacks, not enough to end me. What about the weird button controller? The Sega controller? That one has terrible Bluetooth on my computer. Alright, well, that's it here. I'm gonna see where the save file is. I might end up pulling out my break glass in case of emergency thing. Okay. Oh, we were right at the end of the stream. Okay. Well, that really isn't any worry. We'll just be repeating 2 cutscenes. Okay. So first things first, Turtle is weak to ice type attacks. Hydrogen peroxide helps. Well, for anyone in the audience who needs to remove duct tape from their hands quickly, hydrogen peroxide may be it. This is not advice. Please don't do this unless you know what you're doing. Sorry, I have to disclaim that. What's the one I want? Mystic Knight. Mystic Knight does ice type. And Coral Sword does electric type. Perfect coverage. Okay. We'll keep Galuf as a bard and give him something a bit more useful. Oh, we'll give him summon. There we go. There's an easy thing for him to do. Basic harp. Well, it will work better from the back row, so let's do that. Okay. Let's try this setup. Which I know for a fact will perform much better against Turtle. I'll need to be mindful to save before boss battles in the future, I think. But, yeah, after all the trouble I've had with so many game controllers, I'm really thinking about, like, how I can get a good controller for 2D games that won't have any sticks, that won't drift, you know, after a year of using the controller lightly for some light, hardcore gaming. And also won't lose their charge after a year. Because, seems like the pickings are a little slim out there. Maybe this next one? My only problem is I don't know how easy the battery is to replace in that one. If it's back in stock. I guess we could try it. Nintendo controllers are usually, like, obscenely excellent with their battery life. And generally low chance of stick drift with the Switch Pro controller. Yeah, maybe the OG Switch Pro controller. if I believe the Pro controllers at the very least are compatible with computers. Honestly, if there's one controller that I would be totally okay with on PC if I could get them, which it's been a decade since you've been able to get them anywhere, it is the Wii U Pro controller. That thing was awesome. The sticks, the above sticks, so comfortable. The D-pad and button placement felt just like holding a SNES controller with handles. Everything felt right on that controller. And like shortly after the Switch came out, after Breath of the Wild came out, I bought it on Wii U because I didn't buy a Switch on launch. And I didn't like Breath of the Wild originally, so at that point I'm just like, okay, alright, I'm done with this thing, and I gave it to my baby sister. Maybe I should see if she still has the Pro controller. So at this point, the battery inside might end up being a spicy pillow, so might not be worth doing. Alright, we've got regen on everyone. Not gonna end up getting the Iron Draft from the turtle this time, because I don't have steel on Ferris, but that's fine. I can't even use the Iron Draft right now. It's fine. And there we go. Our third source of Ice-type damage. See, this is what's fun about Final Fantasy V. No matter how under-leveled or under-competent you are at the game, it's pretty easy to just find a build that brute forces a boss. And I think that's kind of lovely. It's a system that really rewards experimentation without necessitating that you commit to certain builds. Because, you know, even though you can level up a class on a character, it doesn't make the character better at using the class. It just makes the character better at using the class when using other classes. Corvax in chat says, I'm undercompetent at so many things. It's okay. You're quite competent at the things that you like doing. A lot of them. And the things that you are paid at doing. So, you know, that's nice, isn't it? I think it's nice. Okay. Now, if I remember correctly, I do have to return to this hatch, which is kind of hard to align to. Got it. And show the nerds the adamantite I just picked up. There they are. Engineers. And it looks like they only need the one piece. So I can let them do all the hard work of cutscene. Corvax says, did you take the shell out of the turtle or something? The first attempt, I stole an item called Iron Draft from the turtle. It is a drink. I currently do not have any characters capable of drinking. That is something I will be unlocking soon. After you lift off, press the A button to go higher. Well, that's a quite Final Fantasy V of explaining this to me. I mean, for the adamantite, because it's adamantoise. Nope, the adamantite was just hanging out here. I think the adamantoise probably just saw the adamantite and maybe thought it was food, you know, or something. I don't know. Yo ho ho and stuff, time to cast off. Same line as the start of the game, but now we can cast off. So before I head to the sky, there are some important battles. I do want to at least save before them. You know, I don't want to wipe twice in one stream. Okay, I have learning on 2 characters. This is important. The upcoming battles have some blue magic to learn. Korvac says that's just how turtles do. Yeah, they just eat stuff that their bodies turn into shells. Right? That's how they work? So anyways, we're at the floating city and I need to disable the defenses here. So Bart's already has electric type damage from his coral sword, which is important because steel apparently is weak to electric. We have flamethrower on Bart's, that's good. That's one of our blue magics we want to learn here. Lovely damage. Now that we've learned the blue magic that we want here, you can just... I can just finish this up quickly. It's always nice when the battle ends promptly, I think. Anyways, Pale Voyager in chat says, I'm playing Death Stranding, and I did a quest that involves retrieving a chip that a previous courier dropped. I assume that's a computer chip. I get it and return it. Then an email telling me his corpse is still out there. This is a problem, because in Death Stranding, corpses eventually cause void outs, which are massive implosions that create huge craters and kill everything for miles. Yes, I am vaguely familiar with the lore of Death Stranding, despite never playing it. Pale Voyager then continues and says, so I have to schlep back over there and incinerate this corpse. If I hadn't looked at the email, I'd be hooped. Do void outs, like, permanently change the structure of the world in Death Stranding? So I know I'm supposed to be going to the city, but this talk of blue magic has reminded me, there's some blue magic. And there's a little bit of extra side thing that I hadn't done yet. Korvac says, oh my. I was just typing out the question that Dot asked. Yes. And Pale Voyager's answer is yes. Unless they are near story important areas, then it's game over. Oh, cool. That's interesting. Gotta properly dispose of your corpses, folks. Steel Bat. This is the enemy I wanted to encounter. Come on, do something. To anybody but Lena. Actually, preferably, you're not just doing normal attacks. Okay. Claw, that is not even the ability I want to do. Alright then. Let's take measures into my own sheep boy hands. Although I'm not a boy. And, we can give him some paralysis whip and whatever else. Sounds good to me. Korvac says, sheep old man. Yes, that's true. Galuf is, in fact, an old man. Here's a stalactite. Lovely. I can't believe people sleep on the Geomancer as a job class. It is, what's the term that the kids use nowadays? It's very good. Pale Voyager in chat says, "Ah yes, the Neo slang, very good. It's crazy how language evolves. Isn't it? It's a remarkable thing." And here we are receiving interesting line. "We put that quain bird to bed and be attending to its wounds." Sounds like the bird got hurt. There's nothing in here, clearly. Boko just says quair. Poor baby. He went into the cave to follow Boko all the way, not Boko, Bartz, all the way at the start of the game. And the pirates have been taking care of him since. Well, isn't that lovely? They be pirates and they do as they please. Well, isn't that nice? Pale Voyager says, "Boko and Abed should have been in a Super Mario RPG cameo." I mean, are there, like, no Final Fantasy cameos in Super Mario RPG? There's Kulaks, who looks like he should be in Final Fantasy cameo, but is in fact not. Oh, wait a minute. Hey, I just realized why they weren't using the thing I wanted them to use. I think, if I remember correctly, it's because they need to be damaged first. There, 1 damage. Forgot to manipulate them. The Beastmaster can't directly manipulate things in this game. Manipulation is a skill from the Beastmaster job. Whoop. Big message from Pale Voyager, who says, "Oh, I had thoughts. In the previous stream you mentioned being surprised that Super Mario RPG Remake sold better than Thousand Year Door Remake, but I think a Thousand Year Door Remake was something people considered was possible. For copyright reasons, it seemed there was a 0% chance of a Super Mario RPG remake." Then says, "It blew my pants clean off into the sun." That's fair. A lot of people did not expect Super Mario RPG to be remade, like, ever. And one thing also to consider that I hadn't brought up in the last stream, but did think of when I listened to the VOD of the last stream, is that that's it. That's what we want to see. Perfect. Now they can die. One thing that I hadn't considered is also that Super Mario RPG, of the Mario RPGs that came out last year and the year prior, that one was the first to come out. It came out in late 2023, followed by Thousand Year Door in May of 2024, so just over a year ago, and then Brothership later last year. Pale Voyager says, "Copyright and the sour relationships between Square and Nintendo." I mean, eventually they patched things up, and now, judging by the amount of Final Fantasy games there are on the Nintendo eShop, they are proverbially, what's that, neo slang term for two people romantically being intimate with one another, enjoying each other's company. So, I guess the Nintendo Switch being a smash mega hit kind of helped a lot. Korvac says roommates. And they were roommates. I don't even know if Square is in Kyoto, actually. Okay. I've gotten one bit of Mansard to Geomancer. It's Mansard. Well, look at that. So early in the game, because this is still early game, And we have our first mastered class, job class, Geomancer. Isn't that great? Now we can focus on other classes, and goodness, I don't even know what else to give Lena. I'm kind of at a loss at the moment. I guess I will just have to give her White Mage. And have that be that. Pale Voyager says, I have seen this corpse incineration cutscene all of like twice because of how seldom I ever let this happen. Ah. So usually, of course, unsurprisingly, you're quite diligent on, I don't think I saved. I am not letting that egg on face, hold on a minute. Did he gain control? He did gain control. Thankfully, this isn't a Pale Voyager stream, otherwise I would be very hydrated right now. Let's put Galuf back as a bard. And, do that. Okay. Ferris can continue to be a thief, and we'll give her learning for now. Apparently also put her in the back row. Alright. I am set to go high up into the sky. Pale Voyager says, I got it. The quest forced a corpse into the game for me to clean up. That's it, Pale. You didn't miss anything. The very, very funny team at Kojima Productions just simply wanted players to experience the wonder of incinerating a corpse. And there's... Actually, no, that is not the ability I was looking for. It's very much not the ability I was looking for. Okay, get back here. Thank you. That really doesn't do much damage. That's the ability I was looking for. No need to Spell Blade. I've already got big damage here. Yeah, Pale, I am fully, completely convinced that, you did not miss that corpse. Pale Voyager says, I'm trying to do all the director's cut content before 2 releases next week. Releases next week already. Wow. I'm very much looking forward to watching you play that game. Death Stranding is unquestionably a game I would have checked out had I owned a PS4 on release, or, you know, had I... Basically, I don't own anything that can actually play it. This looks good. Corvax asks, it's not on PC at all? It is on PC, but, I mean, I guess the PC that we've moved to the living room might be able to play it, but, I'm already kind of familiar with the game, so I'm not really, like... You know, I'd have wanted more to play it when it was newer, but now it's like... I'm good with Final Fantasy V and Final Fantasy VII, which, speaking of which, I actually beat last night. Cool game, cool ending. I can understand why it set the world on fire when it did. Pale Voyager says, this has been a great decision, given I needed 2 full days to relearn how to play. And now you'll be all set for Death Stranding 2, on the beach. I am curious what they do differently gameplay-wise in that game, though. Considering that I don't think they've shown off too much that's new. So it'll just be it'll be a bit interesting. Corvax asks, what if they completely changed the controls? They didn't even change protagonists, so I think we're fine. which if you ask me is the real crime. I thought for sure that they'd want to have Fragile as protagonist for Death Stranding 2. That would have been very cool, I think. Pale Voyager says, I'm curious if Death Stranding 2 will be a courier/strand type game. I mean, it stars a strand, you have online connectivity features, it's a strand type game. Corvax in chat says, I really don't know enough about the game and I feel like it has co-op level controls. It doesn't have co-op level controls. Pale Voyager says, Director's Cut adds some Fragile lore via a quest that also has a hilarious MGS reference. Of course it would have an MGS reference. Death Stranding 2 looks like it's already filled to the brim with Death Stranding references. Or not Death Stranding, Metal Gear Solid references. So, you know, like, just hearing that there's like MGS references in the Director's Cut as well just does not surprise me at all. You know, I almost have to wonder, like, if he has emotionally let go of that series yet, or if he's still mourning the loss. Because, I mean, you know, it must sting a little bit to lose Metal Gear, you know, this series that you've built for however many decades it was. All because of corporate nonsense. Wow, okay. I am not liking how... Oh. Yes. Pale Voyager in chat says, Sam enters a facility filled with enemy soldiers. He sees a large cardboard box on a shelf. He empties the oranges from it. That is a very much a Metal Gear Solid 2 reference. And climbs into the box like a cat rather than placing it over himself. He decides this isn't a viable strategy and moves on. Yeah, no. I think there's only one person who could pull off sneaking in a cardboard box. And that's Mr. Solid Snake. Okay. I've already got learning on Bart's, I think. Oh, and on Lena. It doesn't need to be on Lena. Let's put Gaia back on her, just in case I want her to do big damage. Okay. Corvax says, how is strand-like a thing? You mean strand type? That is the term Kojima uses to describe Death Stranding. It has to do with connections between players who are playing asynchronously. Death Stranding 1, the way that game works is the world of that game. You know, I'm going to go sleep in the hotel. I'm out of MP, and we have a spoiler alert boss battle coming up. I want more MP. Hello. Please let me go to sleep. Korak says, I don't care what the pervert says. I'm explaining Death Stranding to you. The way it works is, you coined a term for mechanic popularized in Dark Souls. To be fair, Pale, it is quite different in Death Stranding. All of the structures that you build in the overworld in Death Stranding end up being shared with others who can rate your structures, which I think contributes to an algorithm that spreads them even more. So the more people play the game, the more kind of everyone helps one another by building infrastructure. That's kind of the gimmick of how the strand-type mechanics in Death Stranding work. The strands are connections between people, you know, mutual assistance and all that. So that's what strand type is supposed to mean. Answering your question here. Okay. Oh, right. So I can target multiple things here. Okay. Let's do even more electric type damage. Let's do even more electric type damage. Pale Voyager says, you are correct. I was being a cheeky McCheekerson. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad we're all on the same page here. Wind Slash appears to have done nothing. And here we have our first instance of the old status effect. If you look at Ferris's hair, it's white. And Bart's hair would also be white if he wasn't wearing a headdress, a turban. But it's a little obscured. Oh, actually, I don't know if Lena will even be able to do damage. Oh, she does have Esuna now, actually. Okay, I should really be curing the oldness of, off of, these two who keep getting hit by the old missile. Korak says, didn't you get olded before? I don't know. I was pretty sure I hadn't gotten olded before. Okay. The little, what do you call them in a shmup? The mods, I don't know. The little side things for the soul cannon have been destroyed, which is good. He says it's already doing so much less damage. Okay, stop getting old, Bart's. Unfortunately, curing old does not cure him of the decrease in physical attack damage that he has experienced. Ferris isn't going to be doing any physical attack damage, so I do not care if she continues to age. She can become a MILF for all I care. Pale Voyager says, Death Stranding and Final Fantasy V share the old status ailment. It's kind of true, isn't it? I just had 2 party members die. I wonder if this fixes Bart's decreased damage, physical attack damage. Would be kind of nice. I'm a bit of a shambles today for this stream. Okay, Mighty March. Let's go. Korvac says, Dot isn't letting me include myself in the playing of this game. Unfair. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Nope, still aged. Okay. Alright, I don't have any high potions for Galuf to use, but I do have Phoenix down, so... Rise and shine, Ferris, you're not done yet. Barrel pressure rising, okay. Okay, because... oh, they took... Okay, their HP is going down. Well, whatever. I've got the thing on Ferris too now, which is nice. Some damage. Some damage. We'll make it through this. I'm glad you got a laugh, Pale. It was a very funny joke. For context, Korvax, the setting of Death Stranding has a weather condition called timefall, where all rain causes things to age very, very quickly for Kojima reasons. And, yeah, the old status effect in Final Fantasy V is kind of similar. But basically, if you're outside in Death Stranding and you don't have any thing that isn't really biodegradable covering you and it rains, you will age very quickly and croak and void out. And a lot of those things are not exactly good. Well, see, that's why I'm explaining it. It's because I realized that you would not understand it as a joke. And now you do understand it as a joke. Pale was making a joke. Korvac says, why doesn't the rain make him unable to speak and breathe through his skin, though? Well, Quiet actually can speak, and at the climax of her arc in Metal Gear Solid 5, spoilers for Metal Gear Solid 5, by the way, she has to speak English in order to save Big Boss, which ends up activating the parasites that are in her body that are keeping her alive, and if they spread, they will, a lot of people will die. So she has to vamoose, skedaddle, get out of Dodge to protect everyone, because Metal Gear Solid 5 was written in a time when people tried to prevent sharing infectious diseases with one another. It's a very antiquated game, actually. It's the boss is dead, It's very much a relic of its time, I think. You know. Pale Voyager says everything folds into this terrible loop. Rain equals void out. Beach things equals void out. Eventuality equals void out. Someone dies and voids out and catches someone else in a void out. Void out. That's why big cities generally don't exist in Death Stranding, because people congregating is a recipe for void outs. Alright, I used a lot of MP there. Time to sleep again. Korvac says, rip quiet, I guess. Yeah, you know. She was a real one. Korvac says, I need to watch a gameplay explanation or something. That game sounds wild. Well, you know, later this year when Pale Voyager surely streams Death Stranding 2, on the beach. Or no, he won't stream Death Stranding 2, he'll stream Death Stranding 1. We'll be able to skip the gameplay explanation, and I don't need to go around, I can just go straight up into the sky. And go straight into watching the gameplay of that game. So anyways, all of that entire hour of the stream so far has just been for this, opening up the town of ruin floating in the sky and getting into the Ronka ruins inside. And oh, this is kind of nice. Wait, I have a use for something. I think I can use find pits in this dungeon. To find pits. Stone mask? Is that a JoJo's reference? Kind of looks like it. We're a bit referential this stream, aren't we? You know, myself and the game, and the Pale. Two damage. Thank you for your contribution, Lena. That's just a miss. My goodness. Korvac says, I just find Kojima kind of insufferable. The stands are every bit worse, though. I assume every means every bit. And, yeah. You'd be correct, Korvax. The stands are, they're rough. Wow, that is so little damage. Okay, why am I missing with this guy? Korvac says, I don't know, my brain is a bit fried. That's okay. You just need to click kill if ever a bot shows up here. You know? That's really all you gotta do. It's a pretty easy thing. Okay. Can we get any kind of big damage here? That's okay damage. That's okay damage. Korvac says, it's not that easy. Yes, I know you have to open up the entire mod view, which is annoying, because it's an entire different separate mod view, and then you have to click on the bot, and then you have to click kill, I think. I don't know. I've never killed a bot. Korvac says, I never know where to click. It's okay. One of these days, you'll get it. You'll remember. Okay. So, speaking of the ability to control, this place, the Ronka Ruins, filled to the brim with, okay, I don't think I need to steal right now. I need someone who can do big damage. Ferris, please, learning? Learning works on Ferris, actually. That's a very good idea. Then I can take learning off of Bart's and give him time. Okay, we're adjusting them on the fly. That is how Final Fantasy V works best. Korvac says, I'm in mod view already. Well, there you go. So then you just kind of need to experiment a little bit, and you'll get there. And see, I could turn on find passages, but that's a bit of a much. So I'm just gonna have to experiment with these secret passages. And speaking of which, the enemy is under my control, which is good. I want the enemy under my control. Damn it, Ferris! Okay, I think we're gonna have a bit of a problem. Well, thank you for spoiling that, fan. But, I want White Wind. Wonderful. So, thankfully everyone in the audience is familiar with what this ability does. But for anyone watching the VODs, White Wind heals everyone in the party by, however much HP the user currently has. For these enchanted fans, that was obviously, 1,000 damage when they healed me. Or 1,000 HP. That's 1,000 is the amount of damage I have to do to them. Garbax says Ferris saw the enemy turn around and she saw what she saw was an opportunity. Yeah, and okay, alright, we're gonna have some problems here. You know what, let's just mute. This is something I can deal with. Why doesn't that affect the enemy? I thought that was supposed to affect the enemy. This is literally worthless. Yes, 1,000 damage of healing, that's exactly it. Okay, there we go. Now this fight is an auto win. Why would I ever want to use mute? I thought that was supposed to affect everyone on the field and prevent magic. Okay, I'm angry at the game right now. And I should not be angry, because I like this game. So instead I'm just going to be confused at the game. Okay, it only had 100 HP left, and now it's dead. Korvac says mute affects your side? That's right, it affects my side. I thought it was supposed to affect both sides. Maybe they just bugged it out when porting to the GBA. Like, I think that's a real distinct possibility, because otherwise I've got nothing. Thankfully, I have just obtained... That doesn't get me there. How do I get there? That's how I get there. Treasure chest. I've got a nice little elixir. Thankfully though, that battle did give me probably the second best blue magic in the game. It's not as incredibly overpowered as the enemy skills in Final Fantasy VII, but nonetheless it is quite good. What does Lena have on the side? Oh, find pits, that's right. Okay, this doesn't matter. Let's just defend. Find pits is the dumbest sounding thing. Yes, it just marks which tiles are would cause me to fall to a lower level. If I man, you shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that either. Oh my goodness, okay. I need to run and I need to figure out what I'm doing here. I think now is the time to optimize my setups as opposed to trying to level things up. Because I don't think that's working. So let's turn Galuf back into a punchy old man. Let's turn Lena into a Let's give her Gaia so she can actually do real damage. Optimize, please. Time magic on Bartz, we like to see that. And Ferris will continue to be a berserker with learning so that I can learn blue magic. Okay. Here we are. Now, if I remember correctly, Korvac says the real question is which site smells worse. Oh my goodness, Pale. Pale Voyager, oh my goodness. You are a treat to the stream. Not just a friend of the stream, but a real treat to the stream. And now, after exhaustively checking all possible paths, this is the way forward. Okay, that was a bit of lag. They heal from wind. Wow, even after optimizing my setup, I am still just going through it. That's okay. We've got damage now. And do you know what's the funniest part out of all of the... I should not have done that. All of the trouble I've run into in the stream so far is I'm probably still on pace to just completely finish this dungeon and possibly finish the first act of Final Fantasy V, even with the hour or so left that I'm gonna have probably. So I do like to give myself only about 2 hours to stream. Don't want it to go on too long, you know. Y'all in the audience do okay, hold on a minute. Does wind slash heal these guys? No, okay. So if I attack fast enough... In fact, let's make someone's attacks faster. Korvac says they look a bit like dream catchers. The enchanted fans? A little bit, huh? They definitely look interesting. Korvac says, okay, you call me chat IRL, but when streaming you refer to us as the audience. Yes. I'm differentiating myself from other streamers. But that doesn't preclude me from behaving like a streamer IRL now that I'm officially a streamer. I mean, like, I think that's quite simple, Korvax. I don't know, Pale, what do you think? Level 2, finally some security. Okay, let's sort out my items. Tent. Korvac says, what makes you official? Well, I stream. There really isn't much more to being a streamer, I think. Now granted, I am in no way, shape, or form a successful streamer, but that's okay. I'm kind of over success for the time being. Pale Voyager says, I think calling a singular person chat IRL is very endearing. See, exactly, you understand. As much as I think it's silly and obnoxious, I also think it's funny. Korvax says, no, don't encourage her. It's okay, Korvax. I've been sufficiently discouraged by what you have to say about it. Okay. Okay. So because the Gaia is a bit overwhelming here... Goodness. That is, I don't know if the microphone picked that up, but that is some rumbling, rolling thunder in the background. I can feel it in my chair. I like it. Corvax in chat says, also she is usually referring to me and the cat, so at least at that point that is referring to multiple people. Open parentheses, cats are people. Cats are people. Korvax then says, it did, presumably about the thunder. Korvax says, we might lose power, LMAO. That would be a very funny way to end the stream. That would be an incredibly funny way to end the stream. I hope it doesn't happen, but that would be so funny. Should have considered maybe skipping out on the stream today, huh? Pale Voyager asks in chat, isn't a cat literally chat? Yes. C'est un chat. Correct then says in chat, but she says chat in English. Yes, she does. She being me. Well, that's the vernacular, Corvax. You know, people in French don't say chat, est vrai? They just don't. And moving on, that is not where I want to be. Where do I want to be? Hold up, is it this way? Yes, it's this way. This place is the entire reason why I equipped Fine Pits. And I think I am not at all going to need the ability because I just successfully remembered how to Mage Masher. What do you mean Mage Masher? Is this seriously more powerful than the... Okay, well, this is where we're going with this then. Power Armlet. No, 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 no. Absolutely not. And you can't wear it, and you can't wear it. What is this? You can wear it. Please wear it. I do not want the White Mage to have an armlet that increases strength. That is ridiculous. Oh, well, that's how Fine Pits work. Normally, if I'd walked directly onto that tile, I'd have fallen right in. But that time, it just gave me a single frame to react to not go into that pit. So overall, kind of not super thing. Korvax says, who even says est vrai? That's not improper enough for me. That's true. That's true. Here in Canada, we speak true improper French, as opposed to the made-up improper French spoken in France, as was discussed during the last stream. Korvax says, I think Cat Mimi missed me sitting on the couch because she is not letting me stop petting her. Mimi likes it when we sit on the couch because she can... I just healed the enemy here. Whoops. She can get much more out of us. And now the enemy is nearly dead, and now the enemy is dead. No, the enemy is a few points away from dead. Now the enemy is dead. Okay. That was not quite at the door. Oh, alright. And this enemy's just dead. This enemy's not dead. Now the enemy's dead. Oh, that is a pit that I didn't even need to find. That is just a pit that was there. Just a little prank on me, I suppose. Korvax in chat says, I've been wanting to play and 100% Okami for almost a year now, and I still haven't done it. Korvax says, those fan enemies reminded me of Okami. It's a bit curious, because when I think of this area, I do not think Japan. Which is what I think when I think of Okami. Okay, let's do one big punch on one enemy. Korvax says there are real enemies in Okami and they have face parts in them. Oh, kind of like the wheel with the face here. The big fan. Like a wheel with a mouth in the middle. Ah. Interesting. Okay. Let's control this guy. That enemy is not under my control. Alright. Let's kill the little guys with this, even healing the big guy if I have to. Just so that the big guy stops healing the little guys. Yeah, no, Corvax, that's entirely fair. Oh dear. I was not paying attention to my health, and I appear to have lost a party member. Corvax says little guys are the actual big guys. Yeah, but this big guy here is much more annoying and difficult to deal with and dead. I got a dark bow and a shield. Oh, that's lovely. Okay. And we're back at full health like nothing happened. Corvax says rip Lena permanently. Permanently, even. Permanently. Oh, okay. Yes, Lena is permanently dead. And by that I mean she is no longer dead. Well, that's one guy down. I legitimately think just doing Wind Slash there is the optimal strategy, because it gets rid of the Ronkin Knights fast enough. So now I just have to do this. Permanently, a bit like Lloyd's Pharmacy. We reference the funniest things, don't we, Corvax? Pale, if you were curious, that is a reference to a Limmy skit from his show that he used to have on the BBC. I don't know if he still has it. At the time he did, because we're referencing the show that he had on the BBC. We occasionally verbally reference it because it's funny. Corvax says, I thought they called them chemists in the UK. Pale Voyager says, that did go over my head. I kind of expected it to, because it's not a big meme. We just, I think, saw it on YouTube at one point. Here's a new enemy encounter. A lovely lady in 3 stone masks. Thankfully, these guys are no match for Wind. Cast for free. I can't believe people think Geomancer is a bad class. And more new enemies. And we have the effect of Bartz's weapon finally kicking in, long after I've already obtained it. Bartz's weapon, the Ancient Sword, inflicts gold onto enemies. Corvax says, did I make that up, though? No. That Chemists is part of the skit, you know, about how normally a pharmacist and a pharmacy are just called a chemist in the UK, but certain chemists are calling themselves pharmacy and pharmacists now because of Americanization. Corvax says, did you say old or cold? Ancient Sword inflicts old onto enemies. As in, ow, my back. Yeah, I think that's right. Corvax says, I don't actually remember the skit other than that one line. I believe another part of that skit, which is about Americanisms taking over in England, is about a menu in a restaurant referring to chips as fries. Which is honestly it's kind of weird because some of our menus here in Canada refer to them as chips, specifically in the context of fish and so yeah. I don't know. Maybe we'll have to link it in Pale's Discord later. Only with fish, yes. So good. Korvac says, I've never seen fries referred to as chips sans fish. Yeah, me neither. Okay, this is the side path I wanted. Lovely. Yeah, I'm looking at the time right now, and I think I will literally have enough time during this stream to finish Act 1 of Final Fantasy V. Wait, chip stand. Yes, that's right, Korvax, yes. I don't know about you in Alberta, Pale, but a trailer or just a truck parked in a parking lot selling fries in here in Ontario, northeastern Ontario, where we're physically located, are called chip stands. And actually, I think I might be a little bit turned around here. Because now I need to remember where to go. I'll just be one moment. Pale in chat says, I'm hitting buttons. Yeah, I break the fourth wall, and both my legs too, even from a short fall. I'm fairly flaccid, just a swearing geriatric who buries fascists with my flair and very scary tactics. That is a quote from Old Snake, the CQC MC. Pale, I know for a fact that that is not a quote from Old Snake, the CQC MC. This is not the way forward. This is the way backward. Where is that from, Pale Voyager? Enlighten me. Korvax, CQC is close quarters combat. In Metal Gear, it is the term used to refer to when you grab a guy and shake him down. And sometimes slam him down onto the floor. Ghidra. There's Hydras here and Ghidras here. Isn't that curious? And can't control this monster. That's interesting. Final Fantasy VII doesn't tell you that. That heals him. Okay. Well, let's not Gaia anymore then. Korvac says, when they wiggle on the floor, an item comes out of their butt. Yes. Exactly. Yes. Pale Voyager says, there is a nerdcore rapper who has a character named Old Snake, the CQC MC, and those are some lyrics slightly altered for the times. I see. QC. That is very interesting, Pale. Thank you for sharing. It's also weird. Thank you for sharing. Whoop. I'm just missing so much this guy. That's not good. That's okay, I should survive. Korvac says, Mimi kicked me. Oh no! Bad cat. How is this guy not dead? Oh no. Well, I'm glad I wasn't using magic here. Oh goodness. Pale Voyager says she doesn't even mod for the stream. That's a good one, Pale. Good job. You are killing it in the humor department today. Okay, I am officially saying uncle. Korvax in chat says, if Cat Mimi knew how to use a computer. Whoa. Well, isn't that nice? Oh, well I beat it somehow. And I learned the blue magic, level 4 Graviga. Okay, that is somehow, against all odds, a win. Somehow? I don't know how I did it. I think I just have it, folks. I can game over and accidentally kill a super powerful enemy within the same stream. You can only get that here, folks. Korvac says, did it just die on its own? I think Ferris might have done something to it. And by something, I mean attack. Because Ferris is kind of an attack wolf right now. Okay. We are a little bit low on the MP for Lena. Let's fix that right up. In fact, let's just give her all the ethers. This is a very powerful boss coming up. Ability-wise, I will not need to control in the upcoming battle. I can summon instead. Ferris. Cannot use any of the active abilities, so we'll just keep her there. Time magic. Time magic will be nice to have. Okay then. Oh, actually, I'll just use an elixir if I have to on Galuf, who is a bit low MP. Korvac says, but what if you need ethers later? Thankfully, I can buy them eventually. And King Tycoon wants me to beat the Guardian of these ruins and is, not exactly being himself here. But here we are, the final boss of the first of 3 acts of this game, Archaeo Avis. What does Wind Slash do? Massive damage. I think the biggest damage I have ever seen so far in this game. Oh my goodness. So Archaeo Avis, as can be expected from a big boss here, it's very strong and kind of gimmicky. And I need to kind of throw everything I have at it. And it's cute. It is cute. You're right, Korvax. Archaeo Avis is kind of cute. That's not cute. That is very mean. Can I slow it down? I can slow it down. Okay. This fight just got substantially easier. Korvac says, actually, I guess it's just a snake with wings and legs. Yeah, that's kind of it. 2 pairs of wings, 2 pairs of legs. Technically, I guess that would make it an octa. I guess it's not 8 feet, so it's not an octopod, but it's got 8 limbs. Which is cool. Archaeo Avis changes its elemental weaknesses regularly and invisibly. It's very difficult to predict what it's going to do. Octogenarian, that's it, it's an octogenarian. So for this boss fight, I really just have to keep up the damage. Physical damage is very nice to have here. You know, I think the sound of silence on the sword here could be kind of funny. Korvac says, did you know that snakes have tails? I did know. Snakes do have an anatomy. Not much, but they do have one. Okay. Well, Galuf is blind and that's kind of a problem. So let's say goodbye darkness, my old friend. And I realize I still have to haste Ferris, so let's do that as well. Sorry, I am somehow very sneezy today. Whoop, I hope he wasn't... Okay, good. He's just take big damage from the wind mode. Oh, okay. That might have silenced him, which would be nice if it did. Korvac says, they have a lot of anatomy and they are very long. Yes, that is true. They do have a lot of anatomy. Lightning, more big damage. And there he is, dead and revived. King Tycoon says, "Oh, look at it, such energy. This is the true power of the crystals." Yep, so now we have to fight the boss battle again, and by that I mean it's just a new phase. He will continue changing his weaknesses and be going a little bit crazy with it. And actually, now I'm curious. He did technically die there. Does... Oh, wait, that is not the spell I wanted to use. Oh, goodness. I've given myself problems. I have caused myself problems. Okay, let's fix this. Slow him down, slow down, slow down. Okay, good. Alright, I wanted to see if he could be slowed again because he might have gone back to normal speed, but thankfully that is no longer an issue because I just fasted him up a bit anyways, and he's now protected. Thank you, Confused Lena. I don't have anything that can fix confusion. I'm just gonna have to let Lena accidentally hit herself at some point. In confusion. Actually, here's something that might work. Punch Lena. Punching will almost certainly kill her. Is the problem. Gallup's punches are very strong, and the boss is dead. For real. Actual death animation. I think it's the first time in this game we've had this... Oh no, Biblos had this animation as well. We're gonna start seeing it a bit more. And King Tycoon says, "Good work, very good." And then he laughs evilly. In an evil-esque fashion. Gorvac says, "On the subject of herpetology, I find it kind of funny that Nintendo was probably a contributor to people thinking that turtles can get out of their shells." Yeah, blame Miyamoto for that one. Add that to his list of crimes. Then Leno says, "Father." Ferris says, "Papa." Gallus says, "This is bad. Something's gotta be controlling him." Then he hops menacingly, and the girls say, "Bartz, stop! Don't even try it." Bart says, "Step aside." And they SMH, and King Tycoon says, "Huh, with the four of you gathered like this, it will be easier to destroy you all." And, I know you said Gallup, but it sounded like you said pale, and I sure hope I didn't say pale. I'm gonna have to look at that in the VODs. And here comes in a girl we've seen a few times already, who we should know is related to him, Gallup. The girl says, "Grandpa." Korak says, "Did Pale get isekai'd into Final Fantasy V? Maybe." The girl says, "Grandpa, I'm so glad you're okay." See, you know it's a serious scene because I'm actually reading the text this time. And then his confusion is replaced with exclamation mark, and he casts away the confusion. Gallup says, "Cryo, you're Cryo." Gallup's memory returned. And Cryo's just very happy to see her grandpa. She says, "Grandpa, I missed you so much." And the girls check in on their father. Cryo says, "Oh, don't worry, I just hit him with a little strike of thunder. He should be okay." And then King Tycoon here says, "Where Lena? Sarisa," which is Ferris's birth name. "Sarisa, is that you?" Here we have the real family reunion. King Tycoon says, "It really is you, Sarisa. I can't believe it. You're alive." And Ferris is just absolutely losing her composure. She just, you know, Having a little bit of age regression here, but that's okay. What's not okay, however, is this. Galuf says, X-Death. And X-Death says, Galuf, it's good to see you again, for it means I have returned. And he picks up them crystals and spins them around menacingly. Uh-oh. Crystals, obey my magic. Give me your power. Smite these vermin. Bart's very, very, very bold of him to walk right up to the villain of the game and say, you think we're just gonna sit back and let you do whatever you want? Yeah, I think that's exactly what's gonna happen. Ha! Now the crystals have been destroyed. Next shall be your world, Galuf. Yep. The crystals that sealed away X-Death are now gone. X-Death is free. We've, kind of bungled this one. The party, I mean. Because, the entire purpose of these characters is to save the crystals. But, to free the crystals, King Tycoon says, Light of Earth, come forth and reclaim your essence from me. And gives him several direct hits. Walks right back into the line of fire. Well, it's not the line of fire because these are earth crystal fragments, it's the line of earth. And Kane says, get back, the crystal must be saved. And he frees the crystals from X-Death's influence. But at great cost. Kane Tycoon says, Sarisa, forgive me, I wasn't much of a father. Unfortunately, kinda true. Kane Tycoon did sort of lose Sarisa at sea. He then says, Lena, Sarisa, please stay together, become each other's strength. Bart's, take care of them as I cannot. So, Korvax, to answer your question, yes, King Tycoon does die. Pretty much right after you actually get reunited with him. But, here we have the 4 crystals fragments. Because they are fragments from the crystal. Korvax says, well, I meant that I thought he had already died. Yes, I understand. Resting within the shard, a warrior's spirit, samurai, dragoon, dancer, and chemist. Yes, this is the European version of the game. In America, the job is called pharmacist. It is not. I lied to you. For a fact. Now this dungeon is blowing up. It is becoming explode. Korvax says, well, I meant that I thought he had already died. He kind of already did die because he just got possessed by X-Death and, you know, only had a very brief moment of lucidity before, you know, paying the ultimate price. And now we let Ferris take control here for a daring escape from the dungeon. And even though it looks like it's landing, it is just exploding here. There is nothing left of it. Korvax says, I'm surprised they didn't go with alchemist instead of simply chemist. Alchemist sounds cooler. It does. I don't know. The chemist kind of just does have a medical motif to it here. So it is really more like making pharmaceuticals, if anything. Unfortunately, now the poor girls have lost their father for real this time, and Galuf is standing in a very precarious position. Galuf says, yeah, we've got to get moving, and now. It's all come back to me. I remember everything. Exdeath is an evil warlock from my world. 30 years ago, he came here to destroy this world's crystals. I and 3 others, the Dawn Warriors, sealed him with the power of the crystals. Everything was fine for 30 years. We thought it was all over. But something bad was happening to the crystals. Once we figured it out, we took the meteors and came back here. But I was too late. Exdeath's not only been freed, but has returned to our world. Bart says, that's because we used too much of the crystal's power, right? Galuf says, SMH. No. We were the ones who left Exdeath on this world in the first place. Back then, we should have dragged him back to our world like he said. So here's very important backstory. Exdeath is also an alien. From Galuf's world. Korvax says SMH. Are you Vriska now, Korvax? I won't be opposed to that. And Bart's, I think, asked if they're going away for good, and Galuf says, yep, we've got to seal Exdeath again. Krau's meteorite should still have some juice left. Probably only enough for one trip, though. Bart's Lena Ferris, thank you so much for everything. I'll miss you guys. Yeah, I figured as much, Korvax. Bart says, what kind of nonsense is that? We're going with you. Galuf says, no, you're not. This is the last meteorite. This means that if you went to my world, you'd never be able to come back here. Farewell. And Krau says, goodbye. And off she goes. And, off they go. To another world. Galuf's world. Whatever that might be. And now... the game gives me no direction. You're very much meant to figure out where to go next yourself. And thankfully, I already know where to go next. You just go to the ground. Korvax says, was that Exdeath? Was what Exdeath? The lights? No, that was Galuf and Cryo returning home. Korvax says they had 2 meteors? They had 4, actually. Meteorites, my bad. Yes, they had 4. So I thought I was supposed to go in that direction, but I actually think I have to go... oh no, I was probably correct. I probably did have to go in that direction. Yeah, okay. In that direction I go. Upsy daisy. So as you can see, I am now currently missing a party member. I'm gonna be missing the party member for a little bit. You know, because he's kind of off-world right now. There are a few instances in this game where you don't have, where you're missing party members. And we see here the purple black chocobo. You know who knows where the black chocobo is? They decided to put the adamantite back because a huge flow of power emerged from it. Probably wise. So it says, Jumping Christmas. The floor is absorbing the energy from the adamantite. That's interesting. Lena says, hey, do you think the meteorite could be recharging? Perhaps it would be enough for us to travel to Galif's world. And then Sid, who doesn't know Galif is an alien, says, What are you going on about? And then they discuss. And maybe if we combine the powers of the 4 meteorites, it'd be enough power to warp to Galif's world. Korvac says, Sid trying to fill in for Galif. Kind of a little bit. I mean, they're both old men. You know, I think this might be the oldest Sid, old man Sid we get in the series. I think, possibly other than Sid in Final Fantasy 15. I have not played 16, I'm not familiar with 16. But if we can get to all 4 meteorites, maybe that'll be enough. So, I need to be careful here. Because I know one of these is going to be a very tough battle. Pale Voyager says, what about Yen Sid? Pale Voyager, I have not played Kingdom Hearts ever. I don't know what that reference is. Okay. Well, these poor Boboses just look like bombs to me, and I know what bombs are weak to. Ice type. So let's do that. Pale Voyager says he's an old man whose name is Disney backwards, but it has Sid in it. That doesn't count, even if it is the Final Fantasy team. But also, I don't know what you're talking about, Pale. I've never played Kingdom Hearts. So I don't know what you're referencing. Oh, that's okay damage. Ow. Ow! My goodness, what? That was massive. Oh, this is bad. Oh, this is bad. How'd that happen? Okay. I'm in a bit of a pickle. They're gonna keep arising themselves until they're all arisen out of MP. Huh. I think I'm gonna have to die to these guys. Can you run? This is a boss battle. I cannot run. Self-destruct. Okay, please have mercy on me. Unfortunately, they had no mercy. I survived. Okay, there we are. This is nightmarish. Yes, I forgot that I need to have a summoner and a black mage for this battle. in order to do enough damage to all of them at the same time that they don't arise loop themselves. Thankfully, I didn't lose much. So let's just change up the party comp a little bit. So even though, where is Summoner? There she is, okay. Even though Summoner is something that I had on Galuf, I don't have a Galuf here. I want to put it on someone else. I'm going to put it on someone else. Okay, yeah, I don't think there's anything to learn here, so I can just have Steel, even though I'm not going to use it. At least gives me better stats. And Bart's... what can he be that will kind of work? Not cause me too much pain and grief. I think I'll just set him as Time Mage and try not to attack with him. It might seem odd having 3 mages, but I promise it'll work. But I think that'll be for next time. I do want to make sure I don't leave anything behind on this world, so I'm gonna want to make sure that I'm fully prepared. I'm gonna read up a lot, so that I'm prepared for next stream. But you know, I know this is I've cut the stream a bit short, especially considering all the technical issues and getting wiped by a boss earlier, and getting wiped by a boss just now. But I hope this was entertaining nonetheless. Thank you both for coming. And anyone else who might be watching, I'm not actually paying attention to viewership numbers, because I'm mostly indifferent. You know, just thank you. I hope you had fun. Pale Voyager in chat says, it was great. Oh, well thank you, Pale. But yeah. We're gonna call it over now, I think. So, yeah. Till next week, probably. I don't know. I'm gonna have to learn to pay attention to the weather in case I feel kind of lucky that I dodged a power outage today. So yeah. Bye bye. We're done here.